Kazuha, from the group Les Sserafim. She appeared on the show Lee Mujin and caused some repercussion due to her outstanding performance on the show. Last year, the group Les Sserafim faced some criticism regarding the girls' live performances, performing live with a microphone and a band on stage, as it was for other HYBE groups. However, it seems that there has been some improvement in their vocal quality since then. So Kazuha appeared on this show, and today we'll react to her performance to see what she delivered with the song Into My Heart by Lisa Ra. It's a romantic song, and I couldn't find a translation of the lyrics. But Lisa Ra has a very distinctive vocal style, quite high-pitched, making extensive use of head voice and falsetto in the upper registers. It's a voice that could truly belong to a countertenor, a very beautiful voice. So, let's see what Kazuha delivered for us.
그대가 이렇게 내 맘에 들어오기 시작하면 안 돼요.
Her voice here is quite delicate, with low volume and a sweet tone, fitting well within the context of a romantic song that evokes a sense of nostalgia. At least, that's what the harmony and melody seem to convey so far. She uses here the whisper voice technique, so all her sung notes have a lot of breathy quality. She's not using falsetto. Here, she's in her head voice. Her vocal configuration of the larynx, pharynx, projects her voice into the higher resonance of the mask, where you'll hear the predominant sound she's producing. Her volume is low, but she uses vibrato very effectively, which is a great sign. It means has control over the vocal registers she's using, and also include an diaphragmatic support. So this short segment really shows that she is mastering the technique very well.
들어오기 시작하면 안 돼요. 난 절대로 내게 내 맘을 내키지 않을 거예요. 나 그댈 좋아할수록
She transitions from head voice, with its predominant resonance, to a chest-dominant resonance, moving into a more chest-focused vocal region. If we were in front of her, listening without a microphone, including, you would notice that the sound will remain. You'll hear it more here, predominantly here, and in these upper notes. And, honestly, so far it's been a flawless interpretation. She has a voice that is actually very well projected and well placed. It doesn't have the characteristic, at least up to this point, of what you might expect from an Asian vocal style. This suggests that she must have studied vocal technique. I know a bit about her history with Les Sserafim. Les Sserafim was the first K-pop group that I listened to and enjoyed their studio recordings. I discovered K-pop in 2023, specifically in the first quarter of 2023. And I am a classical music singer, a bass. And I have been working in the field for 20 years. I've been inactive since 2020. Due to that international issue we had, I ended up stepping away. So I am inactive as a singer. But my personal taste, what I actually listen to, is classical music, rock metal and a bit of electronic music. And these are my influences. And when I discovered K-pop the year before last, I really liked it because some of the songs have many elements of the music I listened to when I was young. American music, hip-hop, rap, R&B and American pop from the 80s and 90s, which was the music I grew up with. I am Brazilian, but the culture here in Brazil is very North American, at least in terms of pop music, musically speaking. So, that's my taste, and I discovered Les Sserafim. Actually, I first discovered New Jeans through their performance at Lollapalooza in 2023. Immediately after, YouTube recommended me videos of Les Sserafim, and I have some Les Sserafim songs in my playlists. So I really like the group. I don't follow them closely. I have their songs there. I used to follow them a lot. I watched their vlogs. I followed them for a while, but currently I don't have time for that anymore. But it's a group that I know had some difficulties last year with criticism regarding their stage performances. But I'm happy to see that maybe those difficulties are being overcome. And she did very well. So here I'm contextualizing, in case someone new comes to the channel through this video who isn't used to my approach. This is the background behind my analysis here. So what I wanted to say is, she probably learned it. Musical technique in Europe. I know she worked there. Maybe she learned it there, in that whole work context. She had previously as a dancer. I believe she also worked on her singing there. Although, there is the whole difficulty of bringing classical technique, which I don't know what she learned and if she learned it, but applying it on stage and in pop music is a bit difficult. But let's continue here.
나 그댈 좋아할수록 나 그댈 의지할수록
Her vibratos are beautiful.
잃고 싶지 않은 마음 멀어지고 싶지 않은 마음
The transitions she makes to the head voice in those higher notes and returning to the lower notes in the chest register are impeccable, done with complete smoothness and uniformity. There's no noticeable break. It's perfect.
멀어지고 싶지 않은 마음
Probably. She is a mezzo-soprano or a soprano. I believe she is a soprano. Her chest voice is already in a lower range but not extreme. And in this section, she really approaches with great delicacy and mastery, transitioning to the head voice and back. She's doing really well.
커져가는 나의 맘 멈춰지지 않는 나의 어떤 일이 있어도
Her vibratos are really beautiful. Everything is very well crafted and very delicate. It's a relatively easy song to perform because it doesn't have many notes, extreme notes. So she feels comfortable in the mid-range. And I think she's well balanced also in terms of the embellishments she adds. So, I think her performance is really impeccable. It's very fitting. It's quite close to what Lizzo performs. Of course, Lizzo's timbre is very unique. The song was probably written for him, tailored to his voice, so it has a very distinctive quality. He can create a richness of registers and ornaments, bigger and that are characteristic of his voice, where he transitions from falsetto to head voice and adds other embellishments, but he makes these transitions and has a very unique characteristic, typical of a countertenor, which adds another layer, but her voice here sounds a bit sweeter because it's feminine. She adds a breathy here and the interpretation is very good.
커져가는 나의 맘 멈춰지지 않는 나의 어떤 일이 있어도 그댈 향한 내 맘은 절대로
That high note up there she transitioned perfectly, without any breaks. It's head voice. This is not falsetto. K-pop singers usually go for these high notes by entering falsetto, which causes a loss of volume. The transition is broken, making it imprecise and abrupt. But in her case, no. She maintained the volume, hit all the notes, and the register change was seamless, impeccable.
그댈 향하는 나의 맘 멈춰지지 않는 나의 어떤 일이 있어도 그댈 향한 내 맘은 절대로 내 맘에 들어온 그대를 내 옆에 두고 살고 있어요. 난 절대로 그대를 누구에게 뺏기지 않을 거예요.
Beautiful transitions, truly. Delicate music, calm music, very well chosen by her. My congratulations to Kazuha. Very good. What I can say is that I'd like to comment. I know then about all the difficulties the group faced last year, and the challenges HYBE groups usually face regarding the issue of their stage performance with the microphone. It's a problem. HYBE deserves all the credit for launching BTS, for launching Le Sserafim, and countless other groups. It's a company that really plays at a high level. But this is something I've mentioned before in several videos where I reacted to BTS. In the video I made about Chaewon, there's an old video of hers from 2 months ago. Anyway, the audio and subtitles weren't as well synchronized as in this video. I didn't have much mastery of the technique yet to do a better dubbing, but I think there's something to take from it from that video. But in all these videos, including the ones about New Jeans too. So, HYBE deserves credit for being a competent company in almost everything, but vocal technique on stage hasn't been a priority for this company. At least, until last year, during the super crisis where Lee Sserafim, New Jeans and Elite faced heavy criticism, received a lot of hate due to their lackluster stage performances. Until then, it wasn't a priority. I don't know if this policy has changed, but it wasn't. These are choices. Okay, I'll fix it in the studio. I use playback and rely on autotune. It's a choice. So, always want to do, have as a priority of dance performances. What's the stage like? The clothes? The music videos? Alright. But they neglected something that, when they just needed, the performance was bad. At Coachella the performance was not good. I saw the show and I'm analyzing this technically, like a classical music singer would. That was unpleasant to watch. Unfortunately, it was humiliating for the two girls, especially Kazuha and Yoonjin. Yoonjin is an opera singer, a really very good opera singer. These girls were humiliated. This shouldn't have happened. It's the company's negligence. Who should be getting criticized, receiving hate? It's HYBE. Its subsidiaries, it doesn't matter. Who adopts these policies is the company. It's unfair to crucify these girls. They're competent. And they work hard. All K-pop artists work hard. BTS faced the same issue. Early in their career before 2020, they received similar criticism, suffered from the same problems. Poor vocals. They've corrected those issues. Now BTS are elite singers. But these girls are still suffering from unnecessary hate due to the company's policies. I don't know, maybe you're a fan of company. If you like the company, etc. Unfortunately, I, who am a little outside of this K-pop bubble, but because they're to have contact with music channels here in Brazil who talk about K-pop, and simply, this subject was spoken across all channels. But what was seen in people's comments? It was this hate, and BTS, and the three HYBE girl groups also suffered the same. The problem is the company, not the girls. I hope this policy has changed. The girl here delivered a wonderful performance in this song. I've listened to some of her other songs, and she sounds very well. So she did very well. I even reacted to Chaewon's performance. The reaction I made, I think, was from a presentation last year. And she also has a good performance, but you don't see the same technical confidence. But Kazuha is showing technical security, especially because of her vibratos at the end of each phrase. This indicates that her diaphragmatic support is solid, and that she has control over her vocal registers, that she is putting these vibratos. This suggests that something has changed. The question is, can she deliver this on stage with a microphone? Because it's a different story. Singing in the studio is one thing, but performing live, while seated, with some adjustments, is another. There are some changes they make here, but has no auto-tune on this show. Here they equalize the low and high volumes, but no change in terms of correcting out of tune. Singing a cappella is one thing, and another thing is singing on top of the stage, having to dance including. These are different contexts, each with its own technical demands, techniques. So, her singing here is perfect, but when she's dancing on a live stage, with a microphone and backing tracks, like it was at Coachella, it becomes much more complicated. It's really challenging. So the company needs to prepare them properly, so that they know how to sing on stage, in a performance like the Coachella. That is a different demand, a different technical demand. They might even have made an effort there. They were in the middle of the crisis, and a month later was the 1 or 2 months later, the show finally happened. And they improved, the least. Practically nothing. The presentation, unfortunately the presentation was bad, but it's not their fault, it's the company's fault for not preparing them. Alright, it was a strategy, but it led to this. It wasn't just them. We're all the main groups of this company. Is a problem of the company. But this is definitely a progress here, and hope that she and Yoonjin, I still need to watch her performances in this program. I still need to watch. But I really liked what I heard here. And I hope she then progresses, technically even more, because here already shows someone who has a very good vocal quality. So if you like this video, leave your like and your comment below. Subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this. Consider making some financial support down here in PayPal link or else on the super worth button. Okay, see you.